Dennis Scott, Rick Hamlet, welcoming you back to Fantasy Insider. We just told you that it's official. Jerry Buss, the great doctor, the owner of the L.A. Lakers, it's official. He's going to the Hall of Fame. And we're about to bring in a guy right now on the phone from Atlanta who probably will be in the Hall of Fame one day. I don't think he was the original 2010-5 guy. You got Bird and Julius Erving who were doing that. But in terms of fantasy, Webb was 2010-5 and famous for it.
No question about it. Brought it to the table every night.
And now he's bringing it to the table here on Fantasy
That's
Insider.
right.
Webb, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing?
We are chilling, and so are you. Did you have a happy Easter?
Yeah, man, it was a good Easter, man. I had my family, had all the kids up, so it was a good time, man, real good time.
Sweet. So did you have a good time with the 20-team fantasy league that we had here at NBA TV? What are your thoughts on that?
That's messed up. I see how y'all got finished 16th place in the NBA TV fantasy. That's messed up. You got to put me on blast like that.
Wasn't our idea, Webb.
It
wasn't us, man. You know, there's graphics people around here who are out to get you, Webb.
Yeah, they ain't got nothing else better to do than to put up some graphics about what place I come in.
Hey, C-Webb, it's been a great year in the NBA. If you could pick one story, the guards, Tyreek Evans, one of the big guys, what's one story that sticks out for you?
Oh, good question. You know what? I would say the breakout season of Kevin Durant. I would say, I think this year he's just solidified that, he's next in line. I look at LeBron, Carmelo, Kobe, and I have to put him up there. I just think what he's done this year, Oklahoma, the fact I don't think any of us expected them to be in the playoffs or to be this high. They've won 2 games out of 4th place, and just the tough wins that they've had and just how consistent him scoring 25 points all those games, 25 plus. So to me, Kevin Durant, just everything he's done, man, it's just been fun to watch him this year.
And he's the number 2 fantasy player across 8 categories, Webb. And I got to ask you this. In terms of playing fantasy basketball, this was your first time doing it. Did you like it? Are you coming back to the league next year? What do you think?
Oh, I love it. I'm going to win next year. I'm definitely going to be top 3 next year.
So what did you learn? What are you going to do differently next year from learning through maybe some failures this year?
Well, actually, one hint that you gave me, and that's about the threes and the steals. You need someone that gets you threes. I mean, rebounds and points are pretty much, you can kind of figure out how many points you're going to get, or you definitely need scorers, but the things that you don't get a lot of, or the things that most people don't think about, are three-pointers and steals, and or to have a guy like a Dwight Howard with all those blocks. But I think next year I'll make sure I'll be really consistent on that. And also, I really got beat up with a lot of assists. I had AI as my point guard at one time. I had other guys. I really couldn't get a point guard that could give me points and assists. So I think next year that's going to be one of my first roles, is to make sure I get somebody that's dishing it out every night. So.
I hear you loud and clear, man. So, Webb, we documented the smack that you talked to me and the subsequent beatdown that I gave you. How did your matchup with Dennis go this year? I forget. Who won that one?
Yeah, he got me by 1.
Oh, he got you?
Yeah, he got me by 1. 4-3-1. 4-3-1. He got me. He got me. Hey, real quick, C-Webb, now, next year, are you going to be a part of the draft? See, that's one thing I messed up on. I picked my first pick, but the computer picks the rest.
Right.
So next year, I'll make sure I'll be a part of the whole draft.
That's what happened, D. It was a conspiracy. They didn't call me and let me know when the draft was. So I didn't, all the people, my computer picked them, man. So next year, maybe you and I can go to the restaurant. We'll do our draft together. And that way, we could beat Kamala and all them. Because they didn't even tell me. They told me about the draft 3 hours after it started. So I didn't get to pick my team. So, yeah, the draft is very important.
That's awesome. Hey, Webb, one more for you, man. You were talking about Kevin Durant. Dennis and I talked about this earlier in the show. He thinks Durant is number 2 for MVP. I think it's Kobe. Who do you think, Durant or Kobe behind LeBron for MVP?
You know what? I'm going to go with Durant, and I'll tell you why. Kobe's been out 20 games. He's been hurt. Durant does not have one all-star on his team. Kobe has a Hall of Fame coach who coached Michael Jordan, who's going to go in right off the rip. He has probably the best team in the NBA when you look at Lamar Odom, when you look at Paul Gasol, when you look at Bynum, when you look at Ron Artest. If you put Durant around those guys, and what he's done with Westbrook and the rest of the guys is great, but, he doesn't have any all-stars. This guy's really doing it by himself, and when you play with guys that, maybe haven't been on that level, even though, everybody in the NBA is good, I still think with him being young, this young, coming from Seattle, going to another team and putting, a whole new team on his back, and they're still like an expansion team, him doing that to me, he's just number two. He's number two in the race to me. I mean, I got to give that to him.
Yeah, I agree with you, C-Webb. I was trying to, convince Rick, but, I think you just kind of divided us perfectly.
Well, but don't get me wrong. Who's the better player? I'm going with Kobe every second of the day. But, I just think, MVP races, it's just special. And with Kobe also being hurt and being out those amount of games, I think it just, moves him up. All the 25 pluses. And, I think Durant's proved he's probably one of the top two scorers in this league, and he's going to be for a long time. So, I would put him number two, but I just think number one's clear LeBron, and after that, we can have some good arguments.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And a good one right here. It is officially 2-1 in our small sample here. Durant over Kobe for number two. Webb, we really appreciate the time. It's been fun hanging out with you and talking trash with you all year. We will see you tomorrow night on Fan Night, all right?
Hey, no doubt. Hey, man, I love y'all, man. I love watching y'all on TV, man. So y'all keep it going. And next year, I promise, Rick, we're going to have a little side bet. You know what I'm saying? We won't let the NBA know about it, but we're going to have a side bet. I'll make sure I get you next year. All I got to do is show up at the draft, and I'm going to have a nice team, man.
Webb, I hear you loud and clear, man. We'll have fun next year. We had fun this year. Much love, my friend. We'll see you soon.
All right. Thanks a lot, y'all.
All right, C-Dub.
Chris Webber joining us here on Fantasy Insider. When we come back, we are really going to get to work for you. We are talking about Championship Week advice. The next two segments helping you set your lineups here for Championship Week. Tony Parker, George Hill, Lamar Odom, Andrew Bynum. We got all kinds of stuff to talk about, so stick around.